What's guys, A21 Mayo here, and today we're going to be having ourselves another 99% winning strategy guide, but this time it is going to be on the newly reworked Skyscraper on the bomb site, tea room, and karaoke. I'm going to go over the misconceptions, the different ways you can play this bomb site, how you should hold it, where you should position yourself, where you should put your utility, pretty much everything you need to know for a base foundation for a strat. I will show you guys in this video today. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I've been having a lot of fun with this series, so if you guys do enjoy this series or would like me to make more of it, show me some support by leaving a like on this video. By the way, the most liked comment on the next bomb site I will do after this video. So if anyone leaves a comment and it has the most amount of likes in the comment section, I will most definitely do that video next. But yeah, with all of that being said, as you can see, we're already kind of started our way in terms of the strategy and reinforcements, so with all that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as you can see when I'm walking around here, you can see the base layout of the strategy. I'm gonna go over holes like that, why they're there, or over holes like that, and why they're there. The rotates, this rotate as well, and the reinforcements. So everything will be covered, so don't worry. Basically starting off with geisha, I guess you could say. So before I actually jump into the reinforcements and rotates and kill holes, I want to explain something to you guys. So whenever you're making a strategy or a foundation for a strategy, it's always important to look for where the attackers are most likely going to be coming from, so that way you can counter the attacker's push as efficient as you can. So kind of think of these areas as spearheads. So where are spearheads on this map and this bomb site? Well, you have the geisha window. Now it's been kind of like a meta for the past year or 2 years. I don't know exactly how long the map has been in the game, but ever since the map has been in the game and in ranked, teams have always usually taken from geisha and then tried to take karaoke control. Now another area to look out for is the geisha window repel. Now before the map got reworked, this used to be a balcony here connecting to the geisha double window where I just was. And then the last position that you should look out for is the T door leading to top black stairs, which by the way, this staircase right here is called black stairs. But these are the three primary areas that you should look out for as a defender and how you should position yourself as well as your utility. So now that you guys understand that, let's go over to the reinforcements, rotates, and so far the utility placement like my shield there. So geisha, I mean, that wall leads directly outside, so why not reinforce it? I mean, you would always want to reinforce a wall that leads outside, right? The middle geisha wall. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to play geisha at a much safer position. Just because if this wall wasn't reinforced, you would be forced to play angles like this, or you'd be forced to play an angle like this behind this middle stack here. So having this wall reinforced just allows you to be a little bit more safe in the position that you are going to be playing here. And the reason for that is because you're going to be holding the main stairs walk up here. Now the reason these holes are there are obviously for the main stairs walk up. So that is why this wall is reinforced in combination with those holes there. Now this rotate here, I've tested it on both sides. I believe that the rotate on the left side is a tad bit better, and then reinforcing the right, because if an attacker gets on this window repel, they are unable to see the doorway here. As you can see, my best interpretation of trying to get this angle as an attacker. They might be able to see a little bit of it, but if this right side of the wall was soft and the rotate was there, they would be able to get a much deeper angle, right? So I prefer the wall to be reinforced on the right and then have the rotate on the left. And then you usually want to have a top black rotate. And then also this wall is reinforced for the simple reason of trying to challenge the stairs or the door without being shot from the rotate that leads into geisha. Now, as you can see from these reinforcements, you can see that they're set at a diagonal angle. And for that reason is because whenever you usually have two rotates on a parallel wall, you'll usually want to have them diagonal from each other, so that way as an attacker, you aren't able to get a longer line of sight all the way through the bomb site. Because if I was here in geisha as an attacker, and there was a rotate here, and then a rotate right there where I'm shooting, then I would be able to see all the way to top black stairs. But instead, as a defender, we're utilizing the bomb chassis and the middle stack in geisha, or sorry, karaoke rather, to cover up the rotate from anyone who tries to take geisha control, or if they do take geisha control. So it's important to understand how a map is engineered, what you're given as a defender, as a base rate, and what you can use to your advantage. Now the same concept applies here as well on these two T-walls. So as you can see, they're diagonal from each other. So that way an attacker can't get a long angle by opening this wall here, and then also ash charging there, and, you know, getting an angle into geisha. Or sorry, karaoke. I keep mixing that up. Okay, so now I want to talk about tea room itself and what I have going on here in terms of the strategy and reinforcements. So I have this wall, as I said, and that wall reinforced, acting as the diagonal counterpart, so that way the attackers can't get a straight line of sight through the bomb sites. Now this hole here is pretty much only here to counter the Karaoke repel in. So for example, let's say it's a 2v2 situation and there's 20 seconds left, and you know for a fact that the attacker on Karaoke repel has to repel in. You can simply, you know, boost up on the middle T-stack and then pre-aim this angle and, you know, pre-fire that guy as he repels in. And same thing with this, you can kind of challenge all of Karaoke just from these footholes here. So again, if someone tries to repel in, it's a lot less favorable for you, simply because, you know, they can look through the holes and shoot you very easily. But, you know, if someone is already in Karaoke and you need to challenge it, you can very easily do that by prone peeking and, you know, shooting their feet off. Now, these two walls here, the reason for that being reinforced is simply because, so that way if an attacker comes up the main set of stairs and, you know, they open the wall, they can't get a line of sight unless they have some sort of hard breaching capabilities there. And then this wall being open and soft is for the reason that you can play off the bomb chassis here and help support the person who's going to be playing T-door, holding the VIP area of the map, or kind of crowd controlling it. So I will get into this angle much later on in the video once I go over the player who's going to be playing that position in their operator. But for this reason alone, he can kind of hold a crossfire with this person here if they ever try to walk up to this area. As you can see, you know, they can play a head glitch on the bomb chassis or play crouched in the bomb chassis. So there's a lot of great cover that you can play off from this angle, and you can also play all the way back here, be completely safe from anywhere in Karaoke by this hard wall being here, and still play this angle here. So it's a very nice angle to hold to support the player who will be playing in that position very soon. And I'm sure you guys have already seen already that I had a shield here and a geisha rotate into geisha itself. Now the reason for this is because this is also going to tie in to the player who's going to be playing the T-door down there very soon. He will also have a shield, whether it could be an Ella or a Warden. But, you know, if you look at this map, the top floor that is, there's 2 lanes primarily. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper on the other side of the map and show you a very specific and important reinforcement in order to help this become even more efficient for your defensive team. Now, playing this shield here cuts off the door rotation, and, you know, we're going to have a Jager and a Wamai soon later on in the video. That's kind of a... Later on in the video, I'll go over that. But for now, you're going to have a shield here. You're going to reinforce this wall, have some sort of wall denial, which I'll also go over later on. And, you know, you can play this angle here, kill anyone who tries to walk through the door from terrace into drum itself. So this shield is also going to tie into a shield that will be placed on this door here. Now, you can flex this operator if you want to. And the reason for that is because you have this part of the map here where you can kind of use this wardrobe, I guess you could say, as a shield itself by holding an angle like this, if I can get rid of that debris. It pretty much acts as a shield, but your mobility as a defender is going to be much more limited by playing off of this wardrobe stack. You can also put bullet holes in this and, you know, try to get a cheeky kill or 2 off of that. But the reinforcement that I wanted to talk about that I just mentioned was reinforcing here. Now, the reason for this is because if you look at how this map is engineered on this side, as you can see, these 2 walls, the one on my right and to my left, lead into both of these rooms that I just reinforced off. Now, reinforcing this middle part, though, makes it so that a soft breacher like a Sledge or Buck can open this middle part and give them access to both sides of the map by one simple hole being placed. Now they have to place a hold here and then also go through a rotate here. So it takes up a little bit more time, and if they do want this middle wall open, they're going to have to use some sort of hard breaching utility on it. So it's just going to eat up a little bit more time in the rotation that the attackers are going to have to go through, and also it'll also eat up a little bit more utility in terms of hard breaching utility. So that reinforcement there is very specific in the sense that it cuts off the map in half by forcing the attackers to either go through the doorways from the office side here over to VIP as I destroy that radio, and, you know, vice versa. It just takes up a little bit more time and maybe a little bit more utility in terms of the hard breachers on the attacking lineup. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much covers it for the most part in terms of reinforcement, kill holes, and rotates. So again, you have 1, 2 reinforcements in T. You can also remove this reinforcement and place it on the geisha rotate, which will be right over here. So you can place that reinforcement on this wall and then electrify both walls, which I'll go over Cade in just a moment. But so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 reinforcements. Then we have the 5th there, 6th there, 7 on that wall, 8. And then you have the 9th and 10th reinforcement here as well, which I kind of didn't go over as much as I should have. So the reason this wall is reinforced is because of the hallway here. So again, if you're going to be playing this position, holding the main stairs walk up, and you know an attacker tries to walk in from the T-door down there, they are unable to shoot you through the soft wall because that wall is obviously reinforced. So those are your 10 reinforcements, your 10 rotates. Go back in the video if you need to in order to kind of digest that information a little bit more. But now let's move on to the other operators in their utility positioning and their positioning as the operator itself on this strat. Okay, so now our next operator is going to be, no surprise, Jager. So right now, currently, we have a smoke shield, Jager barbed wire. So let's quickly go over Jager's positioning in terms of his utility as well as his positioning as an operator. So as you can see, 1 ADS is going to be placed karaoke window. The reason for this is because you might see a sledge or just a nade operator in general try to come to this window, nade anyone who is playing in karaoke. So that ADS is going to protect anyone in this area. And then also our next ADS is going to be on this door. Now this is going to tie in later with the Wamai that I will bring up later on in the video, but for right now, 1 ADS there, 1 ADS karaoke window, 1 set of barbed wire at the bottom of black stairs, and then the next ADS is also going to be in geisha, and then his next set of barb is going to be bottom black stairs. Now it's important that you place this ADS here on this little pillar part here, because not only will this not allow the attackers to shoot that ADS from, you know, pushing the drum door there, so they're not going to be able to see it or shoot it, and also the attackers that are trying to take geisha control won't be able to see it or shoot it from outside. As you can see, they are unable to see it or shoot it. So this ADS covers that window right there, which it is primarily used for, but it's important that you place it in that area there, so that way, you know, an ADS just can't be shot for free, right? And then, as I said, his last piece of barb is going to be VIP stairs. I messed up there a little bit, but his last set of barb is going to be VIP stairs. Now, the reason for this is because he's most likely going to be playing an area like this with a shield. But, you know, that set of barb kind of gives him the notification that, hey, you know, there's attackers coming up my stairs here. And, you know, that then he can get ready to take gunfights or stand up and pre-fire over his shield if he needs to. Now, the reason it's not placed in the window is because there's a vault prompt, a vault audio cue. And also, if you look at how an attacker can play this area, as you can see, I just jumped in the window without moving at all. So they're only able to play to about this line here that I'm shooting on. So from here to the window, they're only able to play. So they don't have a lot of area to, you know, play around with. And also, as I was going over earlier, the person who's going to be playing on the bomb chassis, which, you know, they can rotate their positioning. They can also hold the window jump in from playing this angle. If I make it a little bit larger there, you know, as you can see, they can hold and support this player right here, which will most likely be the Jager. Again, you can rotate this utility and these positions as much as you feel you need. Again, this is just a foundation or a blueprint for you guys the next time you hop into a ranked game. But that is Jager and positioning and his utility. Now let's move on to the next operator, which is going to be Maestro. Okay, so as I said, our next operator is going to be Maestro. I'm going to go over his positioning, where his utility is, and just overall how he should be played, in my opinion, for this bomb site. So as you can see, the 2 out of the 4 pieces of utility that Maestro can bring is already being placed here. So you have 1 on the T-door. Now keep in mind, we already have Jager barbed wire, bottom black stairs. Then we also have Jager barb VIP stairs. So barb on the T-door, so that way no attackers can, you know, just like run in and, you know, take site control, as I said. And also this Maestro cam here cuts off all the rotation intel, so if you guys can remember back to me talking about there being a rotate here as I make a poor rotate, this will also give a little bit of info into karaoke, Just a tad bit, you know, could be the difference of winning or losing a round. Now, if we rotate over to the drum side of the map, now you can also see a Maestro cam being placed here. Now, the reason this Maestro cam is here is because, very similar to the one in the hallway, it cuts the map in half in terms of utility and, you know, giving info and cutting it in half, so that way you know if an attacker crosses the hallway or not. Same thing with this. So this way you know if an attacker has crossed through drum or has crossed through the terrace side or whatever it's called over there. And also, it's important that I mention that I shotgunned out the drum itself, so that way I can get a straight line of sight through it. So not only can I get information by anyone playing close on this doorway here, but you can also get information all the way down there by the drum being open on the cross of this hallway there. Okay, so far we have Smoke, Jager, Maestro. Jager is going to be playing around this area with or without a shield. Smoke is going to be kind of floating around the bomb sites, you know, using his smoke canisters wherever he thinks he needs to. Now, Maestro can either play in Karaoke, because it is considered, in this setup or this strategy, it is considered, you know, to be the safest area to play, so he could play a position like this, give information off of cams the entire round until someone dies, and then that dead person gets on cams, and then, you know, he can play wherever he feels he needs to fill in a spot at. So very similar to Smoke, Maestro will be doing the same thing up until the point a teammate dies, and then that teammate, you know, can hop on cams and give the information that Maestro would be giving. Also, I forgot to mention that his last piece of barbed wire is going to be on the main stairs there. So that way you have all spearheads, again, of the map covered. You have bottom black stairs covered. You have the T-door covered. You have the VIP stairs covered. And then you also have the bottom of the main stairs covered with barbed wire. Alright, so the next operator I want to go over is Wamai. So where will Wamai be playing? I personally think that Wamai should play behind the shield. Now, it's important to pick up on the fact that we have one ADS in Karaoke on the window. We have one ADS on the T-door here. And then we also have one ADS there in Geisha. So, Wamai, in my opinion, I think should donate at least one magnet early round to the Jager playing this position here. So that way, you know, if his shield, or sorry, his ADS gets burned right off the rip, he still has this Wamai as a +1 to his burn potential, so that way the shield doesn't get taken up as quickly as it will be able to. And then he will just donate the rest of his Wamais to himself, be kind of selfish in this position that he's playing, but he kind of needs to protect the shield a lot more, because if they do get the shield, then, you know, then Wamai's pretty much SOL, because if they get the shield, then he also has to come through the rotate, which we placed here. So if they get the shield, Wamai has to back out, and to be honest with you, Wamai should leave far faster than his shield being anywhere close to being destroyed. Like, if they start pressuring really, really fast, then he should leave no matter how much time is left in the round. Or if they start opening his wall, he should also leave. Or if they're creating a pinch on him, what can happen here is if he's being attacked from not only the drum side, but also Geisha window, the smoke that I was talking about kind of floating between the bomb sites and areas of the bomb sites, he can rotate into Geisha. You know, obviously the window's going to be open. Smoke can smoke the window off, so that way Wamai can, you know, make his escape to the area here, which again, he will be playing these holes here, holding the black stairs walk up. Or sorry, the main stairs walk up, I should say. So, that's kind of a scenario to play out in your head for anyone who's curious of how Wamai can play such a deadly spot, but still be able to, you know, rotate safely back. There's a few different red flags that you should take into consideration if you are going to be playing this position. So those are just a few of them. It's going to come with trial and error, but just from a outside perspective looking in, those situations are most definitely probably going to play out, especially after the attacking team starts adjusting to whatever you're doing on this bomb site. So it's important to kind of pick up on those little things so that way you don't end up in a sticky situation while playing Wamai on this strat. But as I was saying, Wamai will be playing this position, and as you can see, I've maxed out my Wamais here. So now I have 3 Wamais supporting my shield in my position. So once they burn up to 2, and then I feel like they're going to burn the 3rd, then I can slowly leave, and I can still contest this doorway by still playing in Geisha. It's important to realize that. Like, you can still play all the way back here, stand over the shield, pre-fire, do whatever you need to do, and, you know, do it from complete safety. And then once they start pressuring a lot to the point where they're going to get the shield in a few moments, then you can make your escape to the middle of Geisha and play this area, or, you know, play this as well and still hold the same angle. So there's a lot of different ways you can play this map, or in this bomb site, I should say, which is something that I think that the old Skyscraper was kind of lacking, was the versatility that you had as a defender, which I really love to see, and that's kind of why I'm excited to kind of go over this and explain a few things to you guys. But so far in our lineup, we have Smoke, Jager, Maestro, and then Wamai. You know, again, positioning, utility positioning, and placement is all going to determine on where the attackers are coming from most heavily, what they did last time to counter what you did, and things like that. So just because I'm saying this in this video does not mean that it's going to work every single time. It is just, you know, a very basic and, again, a foundation to lay out in front of you for your defensive team. But now that I've gone over Wamai, let's go over our last operator, which is kind of going to be the flex operator. It could be a Warden or an Eller with a shield, and more specific, it's important that you bring a shield, or it could be a Melusi, or it could be a Mute. There's a lot of different ways you could use the fifth and last operator, so let's jump right into that last portion of this video. Alright, and so the fifth and last operator I want to cover is, again, kind of the flex operator, which is going to be Melusi in this example. Now, the reason for this is because, you know, having the shield played here, and with or without it, you know, I already covered, you know, playing off of the wardrobe here as kind of a shield replacement, as some sort of cover. So, you know, if you want to bring, again, a shield operator as the fifth in combination with the smoke shield, then go right for it, you know, test it out, as I said. But I want to go over Melusi because I want to show you guys some specific spots that you should kind of look out for where you should place your Melusi. So the first one is going to be placed here. Now the reason for this is because once they open this window, and a Melusi Banshee is line of sight based, so if the attackers come close to this window to try to get an angle on the Wamai that's going to be playing the Geisha single wall there, then they're going to be slowed, and you know, the audio cue is going to trigger, notifying the Wamai that, hey, there's someone on my window now. I need to be careful with my rotation. This might be a good time for the smoke to rotate over to the Geisha double door and throw his smoke outside onto the balcony, probably somewhere in that area, so that way I can leave safely. Or he can throw it more towards the right side, so that way, you know, they can't just sit here and look through the smoke and then pre-fire. But, you know, this Melusi in specific is very important, as I said, because it'll activate if they try to get close to the window and try to get an angle on the Wamai. Now, the next two that I want to go over, one of them is going to be right here. Now, the reason for this is because, let's say, you know, the Wamai leaves this area, and, you know, we don't have any more information. They got the shield and the Maestro cam in a very fast amount of time. Then, you know, you still have the Melusi as a added benefit of utility and information for your defensive team. So that way, you know, they can't just, like, walk up straight to this door here, or try to walk through over bridge to T door and try to kill this guy here, or, you know, look through the holes there. So this Melusi there is very important. And the last one that I want to go over, you can either put it inside or outside the door. I would probably want to put it in the drum side, so that way, you know, the attackers can't just walk in and then melee it like that, and they would have to deal with the Wamai playing off of these shields here in order to, you know, walk in and melee it. Meanwhile, putting it outside of the door, you know, they could probably just melee from an area like this, and then the Wamai can't do anything about it. But, you know, that is my fifth and last operator. Again, you know, try things out. Try a shield operator, an extra intel operator. You know, just try things out. See how you like them, see how you don't like them, and then move on from there. It's going to be trial and error no matter what. And also, I want to mention that Melusi also has a nitro cell. So she can deny default plant areas like that as I flaccidly throw my nitro cell. But she can deny default... Why? Okay, buddy. Let's do something about that. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, you know, she can deny default plant areas like these two here if they do end up taking T control and plant on the half wall. Or, you know, she can throw her nitro, you know, over the kill hole that's going to be in this wall somewhere around that area. And someone trying to plant on the karaoke window. Or Melusi throws it through this direction, then it lands over there somewhere. Again, you know, it all depends on where the attackers are going to be coming from primarily, and then you should kind of adjust your utility, your positioning around that, and then hope that it works and try your hardest to make it work. But yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap up everything in today's video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Those 3 different interactions with this video alone can have a huge impact in how successful this video can become. Simply liking or commenting or subscribing while you're watching this video will help the video be pushed into the YouTube algorithm. As I said at the beginning of the video, I have been having a lot of fun with this series. So if you guys are also enjoying it, and I've seen a lot of people who have been enjoying it, but if you're a new viewer or, you haven't watched my videos in a while, and you like this series, leave me a comment below of some bomb sites that you would want to see, and hopefully, I can go over them in the near future. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind supporting me over my Twitch channel, I am very, very, very close to getting partnered over there. So even if you guys come over there, stop by for an hour or two, it'll have a great benefit to the community that I have built with, the YouTube community and Discord community and things like that. So we would all just, greatly appreciate if you guys, let's stop by the stream here and there. You gotta have it open for, the duration, the full duration, but, stop by 30 minutes, hour, you got a little free time. I'd appreciate it. We would all appreciate it over there in the chat. That is also the best way to, ask me a question if you ever do have one. But yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Also, go follow Wichita Wolves on Twitter. Their social media will be linked in the description below. And yeah, I hope this helped you guys out in some way. And I will see you guys in the next video.